Hello, welcome to our Wednesday devotional. Thank you for taking time today to join with me as we share a few thoughts. We had a phone call yesterday from a lady who had an interest in witnessing to someone else. She'd met a lady and she was eager to tell her about salvation, but did not have any tools, or at least didn't think she did. So she called the office and she asked for a Bible, a study Bible, and she began asking for all kinds of information that I believe would have overwhelmed a person who did not know the Lord. So we are providing her with a little booklet called Jesus Saves that gives simply the gospel and a few other little gospel tracts. But sometimes we can overwhelm people with what we know. They need to know the gospel. I was reminded of that this morning as I read from John chapter 9, the story about a time when Jesus saw a blind man, and as he and the apostles passed by the blind man, they said, "Why is this man blind? Did his parents sin or did he sin?" And Jesus said, "Neither one. He's blind so that we can see the power and glory of God." And he proceeded to talk to the man, and he healed the man, gave his eyesight back. Well, this became a problem because it was on the Sabbath day, and some of the people said you shouldn't heal him on the Sabbath day, and all these things that were problems for them. And they said, "Well, how did you get healed?" And he said, "Well, a man took clay and touched my eyes and healed me." And they said, "Well, he's a sinner. He's doing this on the Sabbath day." And so he responded this way. Now listen to this. He responded with these words. He said, "Whether he's a sinner or not, I don't know. But in John 9:25, he said this, 'One thing I know, that whereas I was blind, now I see.'" I want to use that same principle in talking to you about witnessing to others. When we witness to others, we don't need to know a great deal. We don't need to be theologians. We don't need to have memorized half of the Bible. What we do need to tell them is what we do know. Let me tell you what I know. I know that I'm saved. How do I know that? I know that when I was a child, I heard a message, and the message touched my heart, and I began to realize that before God, I was a sinner. Now, you can say a kid isn't that bad a sinner, but I was a sinner, and I knew that I was a sinner. Then I learned that sin needed to be punished, and God hated sin. Well, my dad had punished me when I had messed up and had done wrong, and so I understood that God would punish sin. And then I learned that Jesus Christ had taken my punishment. He had died in my place. Well, I didn't need to know a great deal more than that when I realized that he had died and taken my place, and that all I had to do was realize that and then request from him salvation. I did. I asked to be saved. I said, "Lord, I realize I'm a sinner. Lord, I can't save myself. I'm not good enough. Lord, save me." And he did. So when I talk to people back then and even now, sometimes that's all that I tell them. Number one, we're sinners before God. Number two, sin needs to be punished. Sin will be punished. Number three, Jesus Christ has taken our punishment. And number four, because of God's love, he wants me to call upon him. And if I call upon him sincerely, he'll save me. Now, the dear lady who called yesterday, I think, wants to tell too much. She just needs to tell the lady how to be saved. Once we tell them how to be saved, they can begin growing as Christians. But let's be diligent about telling what we know. Like the blind man said, "I don't know much, but I know this. I was blind, but now I can see." We know this. I was lost, but now I'm saved. What a joy it is that we can tell others about salvation. We can offer it to anyone. Salvation is not just for an exclusive few people. It's for everyone. We can tell anyone how to be saved. Give your testimony. Tell it clearly. This is one thing I know. I was lost, but now I'm saved. Go out today and try to find someone to whom you can witness about Jesus Christ and his salvation. God bless you. Have a wonderful day.